Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we were seeing how this Saṃjīvaka, the bull, which was left by the caretakers without being protected by the caretakers, it was left in the forest, and with that limp, it just came to the Yamuna without giving up. So never ever give up. That's the idea we hear from that. Even though its leg is broken, it didn't give up. With a determination, it somehow came to the banks of Yamuna, drank the water, and there were good grasses which were like sapphires and all that. So that sapphire green grasses, it was grazing, and over a period it got cured, and it became very strong, powerful bull. Now, since it had so much of energy in its body and nothing to spend it, it was devastating. It is destroying the anthills and other things with its horns. This is the scenario. At this point, atha kadācitpiṅgalako nāma siṃhaḥ sarvamṛgaparivṛtaḥ pipāsākulah udakapānārthaṃ yamunātaṭamavatīrṇaḥ saṃjīvakasya gambhīratararāvaṃ dūrādevāśa ṛṇot. Now we are introduced to the next part. See, first we were introduced to this Amara Shakti and his three sons, Vasu Shakti, Ugra Shakti and Aneka Shakti, and their teacher Vishnu Sharma, who started teaching these boys. And the first part of the story started with this Vardhamana, this businessman who, with his Saṃjīvaka and Nandaka bulls, started on a business trek towards this Yamuna, Mathura, which is Yamuna banks. And in the Yamuna banks, this Saṃjīvaka got hurt and all that. Inside that story, so Vishnu Sharma is teaching. That inside that teaching, that story is about Vardhamana, the businessman. Inside that now, there is another story regarding this siṃhaḥ, this lion called Piṅgalaka. You understand? So it's like a brackets or parenthesis. When you open a parenthesis and close a parenthesis, whatever is the internal parenthesis, that is what is closed. Whatever is the internal bracket, that is what gets closed. So every inner bracket you close, you come to the external bracket. So by this, it also makes these boys a little smarter. Oh, now this story is over. Where we will go to now? Oh, these characters. Okay, when that characters also come to an end, what happens? Oh, then we have to come to this character. So you remember so many things. You become little smart. See, remembering makes a practice of mugging up, makes a practice of making the mind sharper to remember things. If you remember things, you will be good at everything. The biggest problem is not able to remember. So in olden days, when we used to teach Vedas to kids, they were made to mug it up. They have to by heart everything. Now that practice itself is going away. See, in schools and all, when we were studying, we were made to recite a part of poem in Tamil and English and all that. We have to remember that. We have to by heart it. Now that practice is going slowly. Anyway, Piṅgalako nāma siṃhaḥ. We are coming to this character called Piṅgalaka. All these animals are given the name with the ending ka. That is what we see from here. So Saṃjīvaka, Nandaka. Okay. Now Piṅgalaka. Okay. So Piṅgalaka nāma siṃhaḥ. There was a lion called Piṅgalaka. Who is Piṅgalaka? Who is a lion? Lion is the king of the forest, right? So, Piṅgalaka nāma. sarvamṛgaparivṛtaḥ, with his retinue. Parivrataha, he is traveling with his retinue. A king always does not go alone. He always travels with his retinue. He is always traveling with a group of people, right? So he is surrounded by this group of people. And pipāsākula, pipāsa means pātumicha, the desire to drink. Akula means engulf. By being grasped by or engulfed by this thirst, desire to drink is thirst. So he is completely engulfed by thirst. He is very thirsty. Udakapānārthaṃ, udaka means water, pānārthaṃ to drink. Desire for drinking the water. yamunātaṭamavatīrṇaḥ, he was going towards the banks of Yamuna. Okay. saṃjīvakasya gambhīratararāvaṃ dūrādevāśa ṛṇot. saṃjīvakasya, when he was going towards the Yamuna, at that point of time, saṃjīvaka, the bull, his gambhīratararāvaṃ, his very strong, very powerful, gambhīra, very powerful, ārāvaṃ, sound, roar. His very powerful roar, dūrādevāśa ṛṇot, he didn't see it from close. Even for farther distance, he could hear the sound of this bull roaring, bellowing. Its bellow was like roaring. Oh, kind of. Tacchrutvā'tīva, after hearing it, see, if you know what this is, then you can say, somewhere I hear the sound of my food. Bull is a food for lion, right? But the problem is, this bull was roaring, and it's not bellowing, it's roaring. So this fellow, this king, was not able to understand what it is. If you don't understand what it is, if you don't understand what it is, you have fear. Fear of unknown is the major thing. So he says, tacchrutvā'tīva, after hearing that, atīva vyākulahṛdayaḥ, atīva vyākulahṛdayaḥ. Vyākula means disturbed, hridaya means heart. His mind is very disturbed. sasādhvasamākāraṃ pracchādya vaṭatale caturmaṇḍalāvasthānenāvasthitaḥ. sasādhvasamākāraṃ, sasādhvasamākāraṃ. If you break it like that, see, I'm trying to do two different ways. Explain it in two ways. Sasādhvasamākāraṃ. Asamākāraṃ means akaram means form. Samakara means similar form. Asamakara means that which is not of similar form. Sasādhu, very clear. That very clear sound which is not similar to anything which he has heard. That is one way of interpreting it. But that is not how it should be broken. Sasādhvasamākāraṃ. Sasādhvasamākāraṃ. Dvamsa, to destroy. Akaram, the form of the sound is was destroying the courage in his heart. Because of this sound, this roar of this bull, he was afraid. Pracchādya, hiding that. Pracchādya means to cover, covering it up, hiding it. Vaṭatale caturmaṇḍalāvasthānenāvasthitaḥ. Vaṭatale, under the banyan tree. Vata means banyan, vata vriksha, banyan tree. Vaṭatale, tale means on the ground. On the ground of the banyan tree, caturmaṇḍalāvasthānenāvasthāna. Caturmaṇḍalāvasthāna, mandala. He is making a mandala of which had 4 layers. 4-layered mandala here is layer. Okay, 4-layered protection, sitting. So he was sitting in this 4-layered form. What is this 4-layered form? Caturmaṇḍalāvasthāna. Caturmaṇḍalāvasthānaṃ tvidaṃ. This is what is the caturmaṇḍalāvasthāna. This is the 4-layered setting. What is that? Siṃhaḥ, siṃhānuyāyinaḥ, kākakaravāḥ, kiṃvṛttā. Siṃhaḥ, the lion itself. Siṃhānuyāyinaḥ, that which is closer to the lion, the ministers of lion. Right? So that is the second level. Kākakaravāḥ means there can be 2 interpretations here also. Kākakaravāḥ, kākarava. Rava means sound. Kaka means crow. They sound like crows. Like they will be like that. They will be always cawing to each other. I mean, they will be talking to each other. So those people. Then kiṃvṛttaḥ. Kākakaravāḥ can be also interpreted as people who are the prajas, the pupil of that the citizens of that kingdom. Okay, normal citizens. So king, next to the king is the second layer of the king is the important, the ministers and the businessman, the other people. Okay, then kiṃvṛttaḥ. Kiṃvṛttaḥ also can be interpreted in two ways. Kiṃvṛttā means kiṃvṛttā, what is happening. So people who don't care about what is happening, whatever happens, what is that? What is that to do with us? So they are not worried about anything. That is kiṃvṛttā. Or kiṃvṛttas are people who are the protectors. Okay, so they are the bodyguards, the external protectors, the border force kind of. Okay, so king, then next to him the ministers, next to him the business class and the other citizens, and then the protectors. These are this four layer is what is called as caturmaṇḍalāvasthānam. Okay, so you can interpret it as king, the main citizens, then the uttama citizens, then the madhyama citizens, the mediocre citizens, then adhama citizens. Okay, the lowest grade of citizens. So this is how he is sitting now. There is an importance to this kind of seating arrangement also. We'll come to that later. Atha, tasya karaṭakadamanakanāmānau dvau ṛgālau mantriputrau bhraṣṭādhikārau sada anuyāyinav astam. Thereafter, there tasya, there in that group, karaṭakadamanakanāmānau. These two people named Karataka and Damanaka. Karataka and Damanaka. So there it's also an animal. What is this animal? Dvau ṛgālau, two jackals. Karataka and Damanaka are two jackals. Mantriputrau, they are sons of minister, meaning they are also ministers. Pracchādya, and they are bhraṣṭādhikāra. Bhraṣṭādhikāra, bhraṣṭa means they are people who are, see, basically bhraṣṭādhikāra means cunning. You can interpret it as cunning. It is not just cunning. They are people who are corrupt. Bhraṣṭādhikāra means corrupt. So corrupt people they are. Sada anuyāyinav, they always go together. Sada anuyāyinav, they always stick together each other. Okay, stick to each other. Asta, they were also in that group. No. Taucha parasparam mantrayataha. Taucha parasparam mantrayataha. They were speaking to each other. Mantrayataha. Mantra means gupta bhashane. Means they were secretly talking to each other. They are mantris. People who devise cunning, deceptive ideas. That is, they are mantris. Right? So, mantris, they were talking to each other secretly. What were they talking? Atha damanako'bravīt. There, Damanaka said this. What is said? Bhadra karataka. Bhadra karataka. Ayam tāvad asvat swami piṅgalakah udakapānārthaṃ yamunātaṭamavatīrṇaḥ stitaḥ sa kim nimittam pipāsākulo'pi nivṛttya vyūharachanam vidhāya daurmanasyenābhibhūto'tra vaṭatale stitaḥ. Bhadra karataka. Bhadra means auspicious one. Oh, auspicious one. Or Bhadra, from the word Bhadra, the word brother also can be understood. Brother Karataka, oh brother Karataka. Ayam tāvad asmat swami, this our king Piṅgalaka, our king Piṅgalaka, udakapānārthaṃ yamunātaṭamavatīrṇaḥ. He was going towards Yamuna banks for drinking water. Yes. Sir, kim nimittam pipāsākulo'pi nivṛttya. Though he is thirsty, why did he come back and vyūharachanam vidhāya, after creating this vyūha, this mandala, this kind of setting? See, the army placements, that is what we call as vyūha. Here, Why is he making that kind of placements? There are two ways to understand. Vyūharachana means, see, any king will be in a protective layer, different layers of protections. True. But who is a king? A king is the one who protects his citizens, his people. Now, what should he do? He should have to stay in front to face the enemy first. And he should have to keep the others behind him. One who says, okay, now be careful, I'm going to protect you. All come to the front and stay before me. I'll protect you people. Is that a proper way to protect? No. So this fellow is hiding behind all these people by creating these layers of protections. So he says, vyūharachanam vidhaya, by creating this kind of vyuha, daurmanasya means a troubled mind, with a mind which is in fear, grasped by fear. Abhibhūta means grasp. He is overpowered by fear. Atha vaṭatale, he is sitting here under the tree, banyan tree. Why is he sitting under the banyan tree like this? That is what Damanaka asks to Karataka. Karataka says, Bhadra kim avayoho anena vyaparena. Bhadra, brother Damanaka. Kim avayoho anena vyaparena. What is there for us in this? Meaning, mind your own business. What business does it have for us? Uktam cha yataha, because it is said, you should mind your own business. Why do you want to enter into other person's business? Why? It is said, avyāpareshu vyāpāram yo narah kartum ichchati sa eva nidhanam yati kilotpātīva vānarah. Avyāpareshu vyāpāram yo narah kartum ichchati sa eva nidhanam yati kilotpātīva vānarah. Yo narah avyāpareshu vyāpāram kartum ichchati. This is the idea. See, yo nara means human. That which human, that being, that human. Why? See, you have to understand this. This is an important thing. Though these stories have characters which are lion and jackal and cow and goat and all that, here monkey also. We are not talking about monkeys and donkeys. We are talking about people who have that characteristics. When we say Piṅgalako nāma siṃhaḥ, we are talking about a king. When we say Karataka and Damanaka, we are talking about two cunning ministers. So, because then he should have said there was a king called Piṅgalaka. The problem is he is teaching to fools who can't grasp things. For the kids, it is always interesting to present things as stories of animals. Kids love animals. So if you talk to them as stories of animals, they'll be attracted to it. They'll have the focus. Their concentration span will be more, actually. So that is why we are using those techniques. But it is not regarding, that monkey did, that the donkey did. So that will not be having any influence on us. That is why he says, yo narha, that human being, avyāpāreshu vyāpāram kartum ichchati. Who desires to do what? Avyāpāreshu vyāpāram. In that which is not his business, making it his business. A person who desires to make it his business in things which is not his business. One who we have a usage. One who pokes his nose inside, right? So in things which why do you poke your nose? In things which you should not be concerned about. That person, what happens to that person? One who pokes his nose everywhere. Sa eva nidhanam yati, he gets destroyed. He gets destroyed. Kilotpātīva vānarah. Kila utpati vānara iva. Like the vānara, like the monkey. Kila utpati. Kila means the wedge. Utpati means unplugging. The monkey which unplugged the wedge. When you try to split the tree or when you try to split the rock, what you do is you create a gap, small gap, okay, and put this using this chisel or something, and you put this wedge, and you push it inside. By pushing different pressure points, these wedges, what happens, the stone or the wooden trunk, the wood, it cracks. So like the wedge which is unplugged, by you plug the wedges, but if you unplug the wedge like the monkey, it is not his business to do things, but it did it. What happened to it? It got destroyed. How? Damanakaha katham etad. What happened? How is it so? So abravīt. Karataka, he said. So means that Karataka, he said. What did he say? The first story. कस्मिंचित् नगराभ्यासे केनापि वणिक्पुत्रेण तरुषण्डमध्ये देवतायनं कर्तुम् आरब्धम्. कस्मिंचित् नगर अभ्यासे, not नगर मध्ये. कस्मिंचित्, in some नगर अभ्यासे. Nagara Madhya means in the midst of the city, but not in the midst of the city. Nagara Abhyase, on the edge of the city, on the border of the city. Kasminshit, he is not talking about in the Mailapur again. In some city border, Kenapi Vanikputrena, by some Vanikputra, by some businessman. Some businessman. Tarushanda madhye, taru means tree, shanda means group of trees, madhye, in the midst of the group of trees, meaning in the midst of a forest. In the edge, at the border of the city, you have forest. So, in the midst of the forest, Devata Ayanam. Ayanam means a place of residence. You can say Ayanam, Needam, Bhavanam, Ashramam. All these are synonyms. Okay, so here Devata Ayanam. Devata means deity. Ayanam means place of residence. Place of residence for the deities, gods, means a temple. Devata Ayanam means mandiram, temple. Okay, Kartum Arabdham, he started building. Some businessman wanted to build a temple, so he started building a temple in the middle of the forest. Did he do it himself? No. How do you know he didn't do it himself? He got his people, the laborers, to do it. How do you know that? Yes. Tatra cha ye karmakaraha sthapatyādayaḥ te madhyānavelayaṃ āhārārtham nagaramadhye gachanti. Tatra cha ye karmakaraha, the people who perform the karma, who are the workers, laborers. Sthapatyādayaḥ, who are the workers we are talking about? Sthapatyādayaḥ, sthapati, etc. See, when we build a temple, the main architect of the temple is called as sthapati. Sthapati is the one who designs the temple, and whichever deity, in whichever form, whichever order it should be placed, in whichever direction it should be placed, all that is decided by sthapati. Okay, and the decorations of the temple walls and the ceiling, etc., everything is decided by him. Sthapati, he is the head architect. Under him, we'll have the shirpis. Shirpis means the sculptors. Okay, then for the sculptors to sculpt on the stone, he needs to, or wood, he needs to have the laborers who lift the stone and wood and bring it to him. So all that. So there is a big labor force there. Karmakaraha, yes, stapati, etc. The architect, etc. The karmakaras, the workers, the laborers. Te madhyana velayam. They madhya akhna. Akhna means a day. Madhya means middle. And the middle of midday. Midday means in the afternoon. Madhyana velayam, during the afternoon period. Aharartham, for the sake of food. Nagara madhya gachanti. They go to the middle of the city. See, they are working in the forest. So they cannot get any food in the forest. They have to go to the city. So where do they go? They go to good hotels, right? So the thing is that was not the case during the olden days. In the tradition, we used to look down upon people who sell food. Selling food is the cheapest way of making money. That is how it was seen in the tradition. No one used to sell food in olden days. In olden days, we didn't have hotels. We used to have rest places where it's ashrama kind of, but it is not built by a swami or a sannyasi. No, it was built by the king himself and maintained by the king himself. There you can take rest, you can have food, etc. But that food also is not partaken by people who are workers, who stay in that village. They don't go, oh, afternoon they have food, let us go there and eat. No, they don't go to that place to eat food. That place is for the travelers who travel from that period, or people who have come from outside. Like these workers, they have come from outside. For them, it's available. This is the tradition. Now we are in such a situation that everything changed. This hotel industry is the most profitable industry, like 300-400% of profit you can earn. Like a simple idli is a kind of a rice cake, which the materials for that rice cake may cost you around 2-3 rupees per rice cake, and each one is sold for 25 rupees. So simple, but more profitable. That is how it is. In olden days, it was not like that. And if you open a hotel and if you are going to offer free food to people, then you will have beggars everywhere in the hotel. That is not a profitable thing. The olden days, there were no beggars. Actually, if you read the Indian history, you can see like we used to dry some foods, like sun-dried tomatoes, they say, right? So like that, we dry some for pickles and other things. We dry things on the open. When we were drying the things, naturally the crows and other birds will come there to grab its food. They used to shoo away the crows using golden stones, not normal stones, golden balls. They used to throw that rich people were. And they thought they took begging as the very cheapest form of a profession. It's not a good way to earn money. People who don't have any other option are only left for that begging. Otherwise, there is no one who used to beg for anything. And it is available everywhere. So, madhyana vela, for in the afternoon, nagara madhye, in the midst of the city, to this place, or it is possible that the businessman himself, his name is not given, so he is not an important person. This businessman who is building the temple, he himself has a place for offering food for these people, where he is making arrangements for cooking and all that for these people. Probably that also is possible. So the difference in period is important. So selling food is bad. That is how it was seen. But see, let us say you cannot judge things as good and bad. Like yesterday, there was a question. Today in India also, the girls wear very skimpy dresses. Okay, so the question was, what do you think? What do you think about that? Why should I think, actually? But that was a question which was asked to me. Their dressing sense is very bad, isn't it? That's the question they were asking. I said, I cannot say yes or no with that. Normally, people expect me to, or any sannyasi to say, oh, yeah, they are wearing very, very bad. And there are some ministers who got into trouble by saying they are provocating the boys and all that. See, this is all stupid idea, actually. Let me say, I told him, I cannot say that it's good or bad. How? Why? I said, let me explain. See, I said I am in a forest. Okay, now it is a little a small village kind of, but earlier it was a small hamlet in the forest. Now, the people in this forest, or any forest for that matter, or even in cities 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 500 years ago, 1000 years ago, even in the cities, people used to wear a cloth to cover their modesty below their waist, and their upper body was not covered. If it is somebody who is influential, rich, and all that, they also had a dress tied, not a jacket or brassiere kind of, a dress, a cloth tied to cover their breast. That's all, or a cloth, a towel kind of on their shoulders. That's all. They never used to wear this kind of full attire or whatever you think is the modest way of dressing and all that. That was not how it is used to be. They used to be skimpily dressed, as people want to call that nowadays. But people didn't get any wrong ideas seeing this. This has nothing to do with the dress. It is all that is to do with the cheap kind of thinking one has. The dress is not the problem. The cheap thinking is the problem. Like few days ago, there was this 8-year-old kid. What kind of this 60-year-old fool? What kind of characters they are? 8-year kid, that is. So this is all because of the garbage which we have in our head, the kind of perversion which we have in our head. This has nothing to do with the dress. Whether a person is fully dressed or completely naked does not matter if it is clean. The perversion there, it creates all these kind of issues. So now here also, in this situation, selling food is one way of earning money. So nagara madhye gachanti, they go to have their food. Let them have their food. We'll come to the rest of the story after their food or while they are eating them. Okay, we'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.